Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview. Oh, sorry, I had to adjust that. And interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine #1, released June 2018. Our price, $5.99, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, let me please remind you, beg you, and eventually thank you for hitting like, hitting subscribe, and leaving a comment down below. You want to support me in another way? Patreon.com/flippinthrough. What do you get from me? You get some awesome buttons celebrating the 4 of the 5 founding artists of Mad, the comic. You get a sick set of stickers, and you get this super cool stencil, which I 3D print all by myself and ship out to you with a kiss. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, these are the people that I get to thank who support me on Patreon right now. First off, Reflection of Perfection, Frank Schneider, Ed. Wait, no, this is not. Wrong one. Reflection of Perfection, Frank Schneider, Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Meadsbury, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support. I hope I can keep on earning it. With that being said, what do we want to do? Oh yeah, we want to get back to this, which is Mad Magazine #1, or because I'm sure you know, I rotate. Last week was an issue in the 400s, and the one before that issue in the 300s, and this one, an issue in the 500s. This is Mad Magazine #1 after the reboot, but it is actually Mad Magazine number 551. So I'm going to call it #1, and then in parentheticals, 551. We'll call that the legacy numbering. This was, I don't know, I thought this was a pretty great cover for the reboot. It's very simple. I mean, you have the reverting to the Mad Comics logo. You have Alfred E. Neuman, front and center, doing some dumb stuff. And also picking his nose. And I like this because, well, here, maybe I need to go over here. Because of this. I don't know. I don't know if it was a throwback to that cover, but it felt like at least a nod to some pretty great Mad Magazine history. So I thought this was a nearly perfect cover. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got to say. Let's dive right into it. Like, one of the things you're going to notice, if you didn't get this originally, this is a thick issue. This is packed full. There was a lot of effort put into this, and you'll see it. You'll see it right away. And here you go. This cool 3D effect being done on the, I think, Mad #1 cover, where it's like, what is it? It's horrible. It's Melvin. And then we have William Gaines, a pretty awesome picture of him circa 1972. I thought this was fun. It felt modern. It felt like, I don't know, hip and cool, and also very mad. I thought this was a pretty awesome table of contents page. This might be the best table of contents page. I guess probably is not the best. It's probably what takes it out of that is the fact that there are no vital features. I think I love vital features too much. Here we have Mad #1, June 2018. William Gaines founder, Bill Morrison, VP and executive editor. Editorial, Dan Telfer, Ali Gertz is an editor. Paula Seven-Bergen, associate editor. Casey Boyd, assistant editor. Art department, Susie Hutchinson, friend of the show. Well, she drops into the chat on live streams every once in a while. Doug Thompson, design director. Michael Seafalk, assistant art director. And Bernard Mendoza, production artist. Let's zoom it on out. And let's get into this. Like I said, this is, it's thick. There's a ton of stuff to go through in this. So I'm going to have to skip over a lot of things. Here's the star Star Wars half-assed Jedi. And yeah, I would agree. This one sucked. This was one of the worst Star Wars films ever made. Period. This is possibly worse than the Christmas special. And I got into heated arguments with people that I worked with at the time who thought that this was a good movie. One of those people is named Patrick Crawford, and I don't know. I think it changed our professional relationship immensely. Here we have Sergio Aragones presents A Mad Look At Harassment. We got to look at some of these. I love that as a concept for A Mad Look At, though. Here we go. Ooh. Got him. That was a great one. I don't know. He always draws, you know what? He draws like really cute, short-haired women, you know? Here, okay. Hey, let's catcall this gay guy. Oh, this is a gay pride parade. What? Oh, it's like the threat of being pummeled by a butch gay man. I don't know. That one's not that great. Oh. A first issue is like Trump's hair. It's prone to being off color, ridiculed, and windblown. This is actually, these little Alfred Neumanisms, that's a throwback. I don't know if you guys know that, but there would be always these little quotes, usually around a theme back in the day. He's like, give me your card, your ID. And they're like yucking it up. And, and then that cop, he gets harassed. There we go. We're going to zoom out on this one. I think I said it in a really recent video. Like the color on A Mad Look At, I don't think it ever really adds to the story. And I feel that way right now. I just like it black and white. Call me old fashioned. I have one of these. I have a leaky tiki. I got one of these. And let me tell you something. I did not read this part of it that said it was mini, so I cannot tell you the level of disappointment I felt when oh, jeez. When this came in the mail. I'll show you guys the leaky tiki. It's not, that's like enlarged. That's not even the right size. I mean, it's cool. It is cool, but I don't know. I wish it was a full-sized frickin' tiki, man. That would have been really awesome. Geeky tikis. Is that even a thing anymore? Jeez Louise. Like, do I really want a tiki that looks like Darth Vader or something? I know people do. Make America Greet Again. New American Greetings by Donald Trump. Now, I have to say, I feel bad seeing this because Teresa Burns Parkhurst, what she does the best work in is the insane stuff. Things like If My Dog Was on Jerry Springer or whatever that one was that I saw recently. It's not this. Like, I cannot. Happy Mother's Day. Message inside. Being a mother has got to be a truly magnificent feeling. Very happy for you. Too bad about your vagina. Valentine's Day. I have a tremendous number of Valentines, and they let me do anything I want to them. I can just grab them like a bowling ball. Wait, that's 3. Okay. Are there 3 holes? Anyway, I have zero problems getting a Valentine. I don't know. I feel like, did she write this too? She wrote it too. Oh, man. She usually knocks it out of the park. I don't know. I feel bad giving that a bad review, but that was not great. It's hard to like convey his speech pattern, right? Like his speech is so affected that in a kind of an unpredictable way. It's like try to write somebody like, who is that? Christopher Walken. Can you write Christopher Walken speaking? No, you can't. It doesn't really translate very well. I guess unless you put the uhs and stuff in there. This is one of the great Peter Kuper ones because it has multiple ones. I always like it when he does more than one strip in a strip, right? So we have the title right there. You have this main one, then you have this other one down there. I also love the use of warm and cool colors. I don't know if you guys know those vocabulary words when it comes to art. This is like a warm palette, and this is a cool palette. You can tell because it evokes warmth and coolness, like blues and yellows, oranges, and reds. Anyway, here we have the Weisenheim Museum. The Weisenheim Museum is something that I liked. I didn't necessarily read it all the time, but let's just read what this has to say. It says, the Weisenheim Museum, over its notorious 66-year history, MAD has left its mark on some might say, scarred generations of creative types. Here in the Weisenheim Museum, we invite those visionaries to pay tribute, some might say get back at, the magazine that set them on their creative, some might say degenerate course. So basically, who are some artists that we like? Did they like MAD? And like do a MAD piece of art and then write up your thoughts. And this one is Ron English, popaganda.com. It's cool. I like the focus just on artwork. I always skipped this. I can't think of a single one that I actually read. But you guys know my bias, right? I don't like to read. Here we have the Potter ZB Comics. Again, another cool wink to the past, right? Calling it Potter ZB Comics. Here we have a board by the Comics Code Authority. This is a job for crap. I'm already in costume. We have the undead pop stars, unruly sidekicks, and unsupervised teens. And it's fun. It's like a throwback to more comic storytelling, and not comic storytelling like with movie spoofs, which aren't really comics. They don't read like comics. They don't have the same language really as comics. But these do, and it's pretty cool. Even though I am not a big fan of the fake, sort of like, not just fake art style, but not just the fake old-fashioned art style, but the fake sort of like printing artifacts, like these filters that sort of evoke the Ben-Day dots that are created through the 4-color printing process. Why not just do a 4-color printing process? Couldn't you do that? I bet you could do that. There'd probably filter. It looks a lot cooler, I bet. So here's this. I wonder what the steps were to use these DC characters. Obviously, they're owned by the same company, but I wonder if there was any type of any type of communication that had to happen. I had to mute my phone. Oopsie doopsie. And here we have the 27 Club, Luke McGarry. It's just about the adventures of people who died when they were 27. And of course, it's like an exclusive part of heaven. You have Prince up there, who famously did not die when he was 27, but was a Minnesota boy. And you know, we Minnesota boys cannot go. We can't see a mention of a Minnesota boy without dropping that fact. Anyway, this is okay. I'm going to be totally honest. I think I read this first one. I didn't really read any after that. I don't know. I think Potter ZB Comics was too much for me. I thought some elements were cool, but even like this, the Boonies, Burbs, and Bergs, I thought that I was really going to like it because I assumed it was going to be a lot like Monroe, but it wasn't. And I think that was my problem. It's like going and thinking about Monroe and seeing like, you know, these like teenagers dressed like idiots. That strikes me as Monroe, and it just wasn't like that. So I think what I really ought to do is read through all of these like new issues before it got canceled or stopped printing new material and give it a proper read through. And because there is a lot of that stuff that I skipped. Now this, I read this because this is like classic Mad magazine, right? I think that's like, it was ultimately a really good thing, is that balance between the old and the new. You have these types of like classic types of Mad fare, and then you also have that new stuff like the Potter CB comics, even if I wasn't giving them the attention that they deserve. But here's Mad's movie mogul guide. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, this is like, I remember there's one of them that made me laugh, but I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. I'm looking at them now and I'm not laughing. But basically, like, it's like, how could we take the same title and make it a very different thing? So Waiting to Exhale, that's like an old 90s movie, I think. And here's a guy smoking a bong. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And then it's like a more sexualized image. Then Runaway Bride as Fast and the Furious. I like that one. This is the one. Oh my God. That's right. Right here. Oh, I loved this. Ghostbusters, Answer the Call. And then it's just the original Ghostbusters movie poster. That was the one that I died, because I don't know if you guys recall, there was a lot of controversy with this movie. Mostly because, as I recall, it sucked. It was not a good movie. And it was like such a bizarre take on the Ghostbusters. Yeah, that just made me so happy. Here we have pop culture that didn't make it into Ready Player One. Writer Brian Posehn and artist Peter Bagg. So you get, I mean, that's kind of cool. You get these like kind of big deal artists. Brian Posehn is like a comedian who's like kind of writes stuff too. Yeah, I don't know. He looks like Zippy the Pinhead, and that's, I think, his claim to fame. Here, how about this? Smokymon. It's a ripoff of a popular Japanese toy and toy line. The point of Smokymon was to collect all the toys. It was rumored that that 1 in 100 was stuffed with a magical leaf. In reality, they were all just full of spiders. Here we have Marvelous Changing Danger Rangers. You might not remember the Marvelous Changing Danger Rangers, but you'll remember their famous slogan, "They change!" And that's all they fucking did. They changed. Tween Mutation Samurai Fish. No idea why this didn't work. Everyone loves to slap their friend with a fish. I don't know. I don't think I really like Brian Posehn's sense of humor all that much. And then this one. Writer Ian Boothby, artist Tom Richmond, friend of the show, Tom Richmond. This was so cool. I think I've said on multiple occasions, I love seeing Tom Richmond doing other stuff. I love seeing when he's doing stuff that is just not what we're used to, I guess. I guess that's what the phrase is. I'm sorry, I got distracted and that didn't make any sense. What I love seeing him do is things outside of the movie spoofs. When he first got to Mad, he did some, it took him a little bit before he got on the movie spoofs. And then it seems like he just eventually moved exclusively to there. And you would get every once in a while these nice little treats of him outside of the movie spoofs. He's great at it, but I like seeing this. It's so cool to see just a totally different style than what you're used to seeing with him. And again, another throwback to a classic Mad magazine strip, the Starchy. And look at some great chicken fat. Will Elder was here. We got just like, look at all this stuff, the old Mad comic falling out of the locker. It's so great. Look at who's going into the little girl's room. It's wonderful. It's just so cool. And then there's this really cool transformation into Riverdale, which is a television spoof. And this was like probably the high point of the first issue of the Mad reboot. It was just so great to see. Like, I mean, it is like Riverdale was a sick show, but it was ridiculous. But yeah, this is I really liked this whole TV spoof from Starchy to Riverdale. And yeah, boy, it just it's so messed up. It's like they're all sex perverts and stuff. Movies we'd like to see on the cutting room floor. Thoughts and Prayers, etc. presents Gunman, Locked, Loaded, and Legally Purchased. Second Amendment fills. Download free AR-15 gunfire ringtone. Coming to a theater near you, or maybe your office, or your school, or your church, or a concert, or a mall. That's pretty good. Here we have the shorts and briefs. I think this is kind of like the Fundellini pages. That's what this was. Here we have the pearls of wisdom a young Trump may have overheard. This is reminiscent of, Alejandro Rivas. It reminds me of Herman Mejia, my hero, one of my favorite my mad guys. A penny saved is my penny. Who cares if it's earned? Give me your penny. I can fix you, but a doctor can fix that tail. Please don't tell my son that I'm an immigrant. He'll start shrieking. Abandoning your children at Coney Island for a few days builds character. Here we have this doesn't even have a title. We did all we could, and some things we probably shouldn't. And there's a little red smiley face right on his belly. Look at this. It's not even like, none of these are titled. I kind of like that, to be honest. It's you don't need a title like Pull My Cheney. It can just be this. That's brilliant. Oh man, Tide Pods again. That Make America Great Again thing so far. Here's this. Who is this? Chris Fairbanks. I like that art. That's pretty cool. It's hard not to assume a kid just got abducted, huh? No, man. I was hoping that would be the Red Balloon reference. That like French film. Look at this. Oh, a kid that looks like Alfred E. Neuman. Vaguely. Get out of my face. This is, I will say, the worst letters department. It's just like, oh, I love you. You're great. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. All right. And then here's like, I did like this, the Manifesto, which is great. And it's made up. So it was usually funny. And this actually is one of my favorite parts of it. I don't know if I said that already. I have. But Real Dumb. And Mike Holmes would take stories. Sometimes it's not enough for us to have your fan mail. We also want your soul. Well, we finally figured out a way to take that from you. Just send us a true story about something stupid you actually did. And acclaimed cartoonist Mike Holmes might make it into a comic strip. Introducing Real Dumb. And I don't know, I like that. And like an interactive comic in Mad Magazine, I thought that was kind of a cool idea. I like that it's just sort of stuck in the back. Why? Because I don't know, I don't care enough about other people and their dumb stories to think that it deserves a feature, on like the main part of the magazine. I think that that's a perfect spot for it. I am one of the people, I don't know how many of them there are, but I am one of the people that really liked the reboot. I think that while there are things that I wasn't crazy about, there was so much that they did right, and it was done with so much respect and like reverence, and filled with all sorts of references to the original magazine that I just had a really hard time not liking it. Anyway, tell me what you think of this issue and the Mad Reboot in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.